Citi's point of view, it was because we do a lot of things. Banking today is no longer, just taking deposits and lending money. It's probably more about technology than ever before. And again, being in India, it is a privilege given that we have a tremendous ecosystem. And therefore, it's only apt that on the panel here, we have the entire ecosystem represented in this interaction. What we will do is there are two parts to this. I'll just quickly walk all of you through what technology for integrity is about, how we've gone about it. And then we will also take the opportunity to introduce to you the 20 finalists who are here with us. There are firms from India, of course, and then a couple of companies that have come from around the world. We have two companies that are here from Kenya, and they have presented earlier this morning. And we also have another startup from Ukraine. So again, delighted that this has got reach broader than just in India. So let me just start by just walking you through by way of just some context. And it's a little bit awkward, so I'm going to kind of make sure, Senthil, wherever you are, you have the slides. So as I wanted to share, really it is the first of its kind initiative, and it talks about, if you look at this slide, you will see at the center of it is really the startups and the innovators. And the whole idea of this came about a couple of years back as we started to see the benefit of it as Citi started to open itself up, our own technology architecture. We started embracing an open architecture. We started seeing the benefit of all that the startups were doing, the innovation that was happening in the last couple of years. And then, as an organization, and I'll use an expression that Jay used, a couple of times this morning, do good and do well. And I thought that, that really truly represents the spirit behind this entire Tech for Integrity initiative. So we wanted to keep the entrepreneurs at the center of it, use the ecosystem that Citi has in the markets where we operate, where there is a lot of innovation happening, lot of technology startups are there, and bring them together to solve issues that affect the public sector or the government entities. And when I talk of issues, it doesn't necessarily mean only problems, but it also means things that they are trying to solve for as the whole technology landscape is now evolving and rapidly changing. So really capitalizing on that sort of momentum was this whole idea, let us bring people together so that the pace of change can be there, all the technology capabilities that all of you are doing can be brought together and harness. And then very important thing in this whole initiative is, how do you mentor the startups? How do you sort of guide them? How do you support them? How do you make sure that they come up the curve in a way that they can sort of stand very confidently in front of all their stakeholders? And as part of that, that's where a lot of our partners come into play. And you will see that that is part of the accelerator program, that is part of the mentorship program, that is, and it could be in many different shapes and forms. So that's kind of the whole partnership between the private sector, the public sector, and keeping the startups and the entrepreneurs at the center of it was the genesis behind this. The kind of things that we are going to go after. What are the type of customer problems that we're going to try and solve? What are the business cases that we're going to build? But in this case, how do we have an idea, but how do we get to real meaty issues that most governments or organizations, public sector organizations, are grappling with and want to solve? So that's where we came up with the whole idea of crowdsourcing. And what you see on this slide here are 73 pain points that, by way of a word cloud, that represent the different things that came up as we interacted with different governments, whether at the center, state, or public sector organizations, and came up with 73 ideas. And these 73 ideas were actually distilled and converted into 8 broad themes. Actually, if we just go back to the previous slide, you will see on the right hand side the 8 themes, and most of the presenters here today are tackling one or more of the themes that are listed on this chart over here. So again, these are, as you look at it, you will see that all of these things intuitively, living in India, we all kind of experience one time or the other, and not just one time or the other, many times. And therefore, it could be about, the benefits not reaching to the intended recipient. There could be leakages, there could be inefficiencies in the system, and most importantly, making sure that everything is transparent, and that leads to better lack of corruption, and that leads to honest governance. So I think it was all about lifting the quality of governance and management and making sure that both, whether it is the receipt of money, whether it's the payment of money, all of those things happen in a very open, transparent manner. They can be accounted for properly, they can be timely, they can be reaching the desired beneficiaries, and therefore the stated objectives behind the policy are fully met. So that's come up with broad themes. And as these themes started to fall in place, what was also done was to again, bounce it off the various other, well-regarded bodies, whether it was the World Bank or some of the other organizations in the US and other locations, to get their ideas and see, does this resonate well across markets, to make sure that what we're trying to solve for has a broader impact and not just in a small niche market. So this is really where it started. And back in early part of this year, as we crowdsourced the pain points, that kind of led us to kick off this whole Tech for Integrity challenge. And the whole challenge was to invite startups and entrepreneurs who are already grappling with or thinking about things along these lines, just giving them specific problems that they can now address, right, rather than the hypotheticals, and see what ideas come forward, and then give them that platform. Because I think for any entrepreneur, any startup, I said two things are extremely important. One is to have a platform to showcase what they're doing, what are their ideas, and how they can be executed. And the second thing is how to get that sort of sponsorship, mentoring, help to really become strong and confident and successful. So that's kind of where this whole virtual acceleration program came in. And even just yesterday, I know there was a boot camp to really work with the participants and see what their messages were, and how they are prepared for today's event as well. And today is the culmination of this entire journey over the past 4 or 5 months, is for our finalists to come and share with 10 of the judges, and it's made up of government, industry, a couple of city bankers, and we've been going through various presentations and looking at them from a variety of different angles, whether it's their global reach, whether it is the implementation ability, whether it's the scalability of their options, so on and so forth, to try and really see which would be the ones that stand out. So if we go today, I think the interesting and most powerful thing to think about what we're doing today is I must share some statistics with you. Globally, and Laura, please correct me, I think we received over 1,000 applicants, and from India we received over 300 entries. So again, it is testament to the kind of startup culture that has taken place in our country in the last couple of years. And it's befitting that one of the locations, as Laura and her team were finalizing where this event should be held, India was obviously one key location. And if we look at, just to share with you again where else it is being held, or was held rather, it was held in Mexico City, it was held in Dublin, it was held in Buenos Aires in Argentina, it was held in Singapore just last week on Friday, and I'm missing Abu Dhabi, and the last one here is in Mumbai. And we have a couple of prizes as well. There is one prize from Citi Group for the winner, and then each of our partners have some prizes for our different winners as well.